This will be a video for 7th grade. This is going to be section 9.1. We're going to talk about circumference of a circle. And this is going to be our first use of the symbol, the number pi. I know that most of us have heard of that symbol or number. It looks kind of like this. Sometimes it's got a little curl on the end. It's a never-ending, never-repeated, irrational number that is approximately 3.14. And this is what I'm going to use most of today in this video is 3.14. But most calculators have a button on them that is the pi symbol. So here's mine's on this little exponent here. I would have to hit a shift button to get to it, but that would be the pi button. Pi is a pretty interesting number in that it occurs in every single circle. And this was actually discovered and recorded by a guy named Ames the Scribe 3,600 years ago in ancient Egypt. So here's a little picture of him, some statues that they found in Egypt, apparently. Just found it on Google Images. And another man credited with this discovery is a guy named Archimedes, which you may have heard of. He's a Greek mathematician and philosopher, and this is over 2,000 years ago when he discovered and recorded a value for pi. So pi is always this number, 3.14. It is never ending though. It's 3.141415. Oh man, 3.14159265 blah 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 blah, and it never ends and it never repeats. And you can keep going and going and going. And computers are getting a little better at recording them. When these guys were around, they had to do this all just by measuring over and over and over again. So let me show you what circumference means. I've got a tape measure, and I've got a jar of my peanut butter at my house. Circumference is where you take this tape measure and you wrap it around, and then we would see that this is, 31 centimeters. Okay, so this is 31 centimeters around. Circumference equals 31 centimeters of my peanut butter. Now, I'm going to take my tape measure, and I'm going to measure the diameter here. Diameter here is about or a little more than that. It's about 9.6 centimeters. 9.6 centimeters. So if that's what my diameter is, I used that capital on accident. 9.6 centimeters. So now I want to take these two numbers and I just want to find out their ratio. So I want to divide them. So I'll just get my calculator. We'll do 31 divided by 9.6. And I should get a number pretty close to pi. I got 3.22. 3.23. Now, that's not perfect. I'm not perfect with this. The edge of this is kind of tapered, so my number for pi is a little big because I notice on this peanut butter jar, I have a little edge here that's a little wider than where I measured originally. So I'm going to be a little off. It's not perfect. But if I did this 1,000 times like these mathematicians may have, they probably would have gotten a more accurate number than I did if I just did it one single time. If I took this jar of paprika, this spice here, and I went around here on the outside for the circumference, measured that, and then divided by the diameter, which remember is straight across, all the way across, I would get something close to pi again. And then I could maybe take the average of those and I'd get even closer and closer and closer. And these guys did that tons of times. They took a circle and they did that to figure out what pi equals. So for today's though, we're just going to use the number 3.14 when we need to do that. So the formula for the circumference of a circle is down here on the bottom left. C equals pi times diameter. So if I were to do this one here that's 11 centimeters, I'm going to do that one first. 11 centimeters. So I'm going to just write my formula. C equals pi times d. C equals pi times, well, on this one, the diameter is given to us all the way across is 11 times 11. So I would just grab my calculator. I go 3.14 times 11. Now I could use the pi button, but I'm just choosing to just use 3.14. I think that's easier. I don't have to find the button and hit it every time. So my circumference is not exactly, because it's going to be a never-ending, never-repeated decimal, but rounded to the nearest hundredths is 34.54 centimeters. And I'm going to write the whole word because I want you to write the whole word on your homework. IMETERS, centimeters. Here would be my answer, 34.54 centimeters. And I'm going to want you to round to the nearest hundredth on all of your problems. So let's go ahead and do this second one over here. I noticed that on this 14 here, I'm given the radius. So what I need to do is I need to get a diameter. So this is another 14, which means a total of 28 is my diameter. So circumference equals pi times 28. So we'll just do 3.14 times 28. I get 87. Circumference equals 87.92 feet. And there we have it. For this last one, we need to find out what the diameter is, and they give us the circumference. So let's write our formula. C equals pi times d. They say that C is 44, so 44 equals pi times diameter. Well, now we can divide by pi. It's a one-step algebra problem. Divide by pi. So 44 divided by 3.14 tells us that our diameter is 14.01, and there's more numbers behind this. It's a never-ending, never-repeated decimal. Well, actually, this one probably would repeat eventually, but it'd take forever. I'm just going to round to the hundredths, and we'll say feet. Notice I don't have square centimeters or square feet on any of these because it's not area. We're not measuring the amount of squares. So let's go to page 200 and who knows, 268, and we're going to complete this page. So the first one, we need to find the circumference of each circle. So on this first one, circumference equals pi times diameter. So pi times diameter, here we have 3.14 times our diameter is given to us. It's all the way across is 9. So go ahead and write that in the first row. We have 3.14 times 9. We get the answer, 28.26 inches. There you go. Number 2, would they give us a radius? So we need to make sure we double that. So it's 2 7s to make a total of 14 centimeters. So 2 times pi times radius. And in this one, they have us using this ratio for pi, 22 sevenths. I'm not really going to use that. We're going to use 2 times 3. Oh, I see what they're doing. They want us to multiply our radius by 2, but we already did that. So we're going to just do again the 3.14 times 14, because we already did our times 2 to get our diameter. So we have 3.14 times 14. We get 43.96 centimeters. And they're given abbreviations on these, but I don't want you to use abbreviations on your Go Math Google Form homework. For number 3, we need to find the circumference, and they want us to use 3.14 or 22 sevenths. We're not going to use 22 sevenths. Please just use 3.14. So on this one, pi times our diameter. Well, they give us our diameter. So pi times diameter, 25 times 3.14, we get 78.5. And you could put 50 if you want. It's not necessary. And then we'll say meters. For the next one, number 4, they give us a radius, so we need to double that. We need another 4.8. So I'm going to do 4.8 plus 4.8, and my diameter is 9.6. So I have 9.6 times pi, so 9.6 times 3.14. And again, I'm just doing this on a calculator, and you guys can do that too. I get 30. It says 144. So I'm going to say 14. If there was a 4 here, it wouldn't round this up. If it was a 5, it would round up. So 30.14 yards. Y-A-R-D-S, yards. I accidentally did a abbreviation. I don't want to use abbreviations. because I don't want you guys to use abbreviations. For this one, we give us another one. They give us a radius, so we need another 7.5 to make a total diameter. So 7.5 times 2 gives us 15 times 3.14. 15 times 3.14 is 47.1. And I'll go ahead and put 10 because I did tell you to go to the nearest hundredth. Maybe either one would be fine. Inches. Number 6 gets a little tricky. I promise you won't have one this hard on your homework, but we have a round swimming pool has a circumference of 66 feet. Carlos wants to buy a rope to put across the diameter of the pool. The rope costs 45 cents per foot. And Carlos needs 4 feet more than the diameter of the pool. How much will Carlos pay for the rope? So we need to find the diameter. So if our circumference is 66 feet, that's C equals 66 times, not C equals 66, the circumference, C equals pi times diameter. So we have 66 was given to us. That's our circumference, equals pi times d. Remember, in our third example here on the bottom, we had to divide by pi to figure out what the diameter was. Divide by pi, so 66 divided by 3.14, we get diameter. Now here, we'll put it right here, 66. So 66 divided by 3.14, we can cross off these 3.14s. We get 21.02 because it rounds up. It's 0.19, so that 0.19 rounds this up to 2. Next, we need to find the cost of this many feet of rope. So we need a total, what did he say? We need a total of 21.02 feet of rope. So we're going to, and if we get 1 foot for 45 cents, so we'll do 21.02 feet times 45. So 21.02 times 0.45. We're going to get $9.46. So he's going to pay $9.46 for the rope. Kind of a tricky problem. Don't worry, you're not going to have one that crazy on your homework. For the next one, find each missing measurement to the nearest hundredth. Use 3.14 for pi. So for number 7, interesting. Circumference is pi yards. Remember, pi is a number. Pi is 3.14. So circumference in this is 3.14. So we need to find the radius and the diameter. I'm going to erase some space over here. I'm going to try to. How about, there we go. Sorry, Archimedes. So for number 7 here, we're going to have, in fact, can I erase? Nope. Okay. We've got 3.14 equals pi times diameter. That's for number 7. They tell us 3.14 is our circumference, so that's where our circumference goes, is at the beginning of this equation. We need to divide by pi. Divide by pi. Well, 3.14 divided by 3.14 is 1, is our diameter. So our diameter is 1 yard. And then our radius, we just have to cut that in half. So it would be 0.5 yards. For the next one, we've got 78.8 equals pi times diameter, divide by pi, divide by 3.14 is the same thing. So we'll do 78.8 divided by 3.14. We get 25.10. That's our diameter. When I round it, divide it by 2, 12.55. We need label, feet. 2 more. Number 9, we're going to say, okay, well, our diameter is 3.4, so circumference equals pi times diameter will be 3.4. So we'll do 3.4 times 3.14. So our circumference is 10.6 8 inches. And our radius is half of our diameter, so 3.4 divided by 2 is 1.7. For number 10, Nora knows the diameter of her circle is 13 meters. How would you tell her how to find the circumference? Well, here's our answer. We're going to, in words, you need to tell me how to use c equals pi times d. So for example, if she knows what her diameter is, it's 13 meters, well, all she's going to have to do is multiply that by pi and then make sure she includes a label meters. So put that into words. Put in words. Okay? Don't put in words in your book. Put it in your own words. How do you find the circumference? Remember, all we do is multiply our diameter of our circle, which is all the way across, by the number 3.14, or you can hit the pi button on your calculator.